Karin Ebbinghaus, CEO of Elonroad.
Yes, hello.
Hey, good to have you on the Big Green Show, finally.
Thank you so much for having me. Great pleasure.
Well, here we are, and behind us is Elonroad's first installation.
Yes, it's magic. It only took 9 hours to roll out, a bit more than 300 meters. Which is, amazing considering it was our first time doing it.
That is incredible. And you said you were actually using basically office staff to do it.
Yes,
so
it was like us. People have working in the office or doing the installation in the factory, but no one have ever sort of built an electrical road before. And we managed. It was a great team effort.
That is pretty cool. Because in reality, this charging strip, then, if you could basically do 1 kilometer in 24 hours, if I counted correctly.
Yes,
yeah.
And that's just for beginners.
That's the first try.
We have plans of doing it in a more efficient and more professional way, of course.
Yeah.
So this was just testing it.
Yeah. But this can now charge a bus that will, starting on the day of the opening, then be running here, right?
Yes, on June 4th we have our opening ceremony, so please join us for that if you haven't registered already. But yes, we will have a bus that is running here, but all vehicles can charge if they have a pickup mounted on it. But the bus we have prepared.
Exactly. So for anybody who doesn't really get this, then, it's a 1 kilometer stretch. How much does it charge?
Well, you have to see it as a whole system. So now we have built a bit more than 300 meters, and we're building a bit more than 900 meters on the other side of the road starting this fall. Yeah. But you can charge up to 300 kilowatts into one vehicle, but that also depends on your onboard charger and your battery capacity, how much effect that you need.
Yeah, and how fast you drive maybe. If you're standing still, you will charge more, of course.
Yes, the longer time you spend on the road, you will be able to charge more. So, of course, speed. But we have power electronics in the road, unlocking the power when you send an encrypted code. That's how it works. So for 1 meter at the time, 1 meter segments, we will distribute power. And that distribution can go up to 160 kilometers an hour. Right.
But so in reality, if you're not a customer of the system, then you will not be able to charge, right?
No. So you have to have this, call it like if you have a cell phone subscription or something like that, you will have a subscription and you will be able to charge on the road. And you can do that, all the time when you drive over it. But it will be an encrypted radio signal that unlocks. That's for safety reasons.
Get it. And this, probably it's been installed way faster than people think, since it's in reality now turned into an electric road. How safe is it?
It's very safe. I would say a bit more than 90% of our development and R&D has been focused on safety. So anyone who doesn't have that encrypted radio signal on board the vehicle or doesn't want to use it, it will not turn off. So you can walk over it, you can drive over it. It's totally safe for other passengers. And we have different safety levels, both in the road and at the transformation and the power station beside the road.
So a lot of effort has been spent. I know Dawn actually made some tests even when it comes to making sure that salt water doesn't transfer current.
Yes. We have made a lot of different tests and research. Salt water, water as such, not to have any short circuits. We have tested most things. And it has been like a test pipe or test road, been lying outside for more than 3 years. Yeah. So it's not the first time we have
True, you've tested it over and over, of course, in a controlled environment.
Otherwise we wouldn't dare to put it up here in public. But it is the world's first electrical road that are placed on top of the asphalt. Yeah. Because we only glue it. We don't have any kind of drilling or any other installation. So we just glue it.
Is it only glued? No bolts anywhere?
No.
Only glued? Yeah. Super glue?
Yeah. Super glue.
Super glue. So let's see if we can get it off the road.
Too, so it's
okay, cool. Well, another thing with safety, how high is it? How much does it measure, this one? Do you know?
It's 38 millimeters, so 3.8 centimeters. And then it's 30 centimeters wide, and the angle is 10 degrees.
Cool.
So we have been driving over it with motorcycles, but here in Sweden or in Lund we have placed it in a bus line, and formally you're not allowed to drive in a bus line unless you're a bus. But
I'm going to give it a go after the interview.
I know. But you're not allowed to do it. But we are not afraid. I mean, it has been a quite heavy environment where we had the test strip before, and we are certain and convinced that we want to try it in a quite harsh environment because we think it's very suitable to be in a city environment.
Well, you can easily imagine the advantages here because it's seamless, of course. For a bus going over, they don't have to worry about plugging anything in. It just goes.
It goes automatically. Once you go over it, the car will know that it is over the road because the smartness in the road will tell it, and then charging will start. You don't have to press a button or anything. The car or the system will do that automatically. And that is same if you use this, because we have those short power segments, you can use this as a park charger as well. And it's an automatic park charger, because when you drive over the strip, all you have to do is turn off the key and parking will start automatically. And we have been testing that. We have a DHL van running since January actually. And now we're in May, so it's several months.
Yeah, and there's just a short strip that actually is in the parking space,
yes,
right?
it's 3 meters.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, the cost is, of course, something that everybody wants to know. What will a strip, let's say a kilometer, what will it cost?
It's so cheap. No, just kidding. It's about...
It's dirt cheap.
Yes, it's... Sense is cheap. It's 1.2 million euro per kilometer, both ways, of course, both ways. But if you consider having, of course, it's a lot of money. But if you talk about other infrastructure or asphalt or roads or railways, it's very cheap.
We have the tram that is not really yet finished here in Lund, but compared to that, it's cheaper.
It's cheaper. I mean, that would probably cost 1 billion for 1 kilometer or something similar. And if you consider, if you would take a bus line, for example, if you would support a bus line and you would instead have end station chargers, one end station charger would probably cost around 4 million Swedish kroners for both the equipment and installation and groundwork.
Right.
And here in Lund, we have 10 bus lines.
Yeah.
So if you want to electrify those, that would entail 20 end station charges, approximately 80 million kroners. But you would only need a bit more than 6 kilometers of electrical road, which is 60 million Swedish kroners.
And so for that 60 million kroners, you would put the road strategically in places where the bus goes a lot,
yes,
I imagine?
I mean, a lot of stretches they share. If you're a bus line, you sort of pass, you go around your route, and then you pass certain directions which are shared by many bus lines. And the difference between having those end station chargers, those can only be used by those buses. Yeah. But once you have this in place,
it can be shared.
This can be shared. So it's a very inclusive infrastructure. So you can have it by taxis, DHL or other.
They already have the pickup on, so DHL can just use it.
That's really good. But it will enable electrification in the city. So the city will be able to have EVs charging on the go, and you can share it. And the one that invests in this infrastructure will be able to sell or distribute powers to others.
A big advantage of having it actually on the road.
Yes.
Instead of
we have competitors, of course, who have overhead line charging, but that is only for really large and heavy trucks, high trucks, who can reach it. And in a city environment, I mean, you wouldn't be able to install such things.
No. I'm kind of biased here since I'm also involved in Elonroad, but yeah, I think we describe it well. Cool. Is there anything else you want to say? Let's just remind viewers again about the time for the opening. When they come see it.
It's on the 4th of June.
4th of June?
At 2:30. And if you look into, because we haven't built this road on our own. We're part of a consortium called Elonroad, which is a consortium consisting of 9 partners. So we're doing this together with them. And if you want to sign up for the ceremony, you go into evolutionroad.se and you can find how to register.
And maybe even you can get to drive or test the bus.
Yes, and also our Minister for Energy and Digitalization, Anders Ygeman, will participate.
Ministers will be present.
I think that's really a good thing instead of the infrastructure, because of course this is an infrastructure project, but it's also a digitalization project. Because not only do we provide energy and charging to the road, we do make it smart. As we have a lot of sensors built in. It will also benefit for like autonomous vehicles or safety, because you can use the road for positioning and lane keeping.
Yeah, you can actually provide data to other vehicles as well to keep it more safe.
Yes, and also things like we have temperature. So in winter, where the temperature drops, it can do that quite locally. The road can detect that and say, here we have a quite big difference between 100 meter or 1 kilometer. I better warn the passengers. So they can send you, now it's a blixt cold or blixt freezing.
Go slower on this exact strip.
Or they, I mean, you know, here in Sweden we have a lot of moose just running around everywhere.
All over the place.
All over the place. No, but eventually we do have a lot of wild animals running out over there. And our radar can detect those movements, and also give a warning signal to the people driving on the road.
It's good you brought it up, this with the winter, because we haven't talked about it. Let's just quickly touch upon it. What happens when it snows? If this completely snows over?
I promise you, if you buy 1 kilometer of road, I will give you a snowplow on the top.
You've actually designed a snowplow.
We have designed a special snowplow. Yeah. It's like with the tooth going over like that.
Yeah.
And it's an existing technology which you use, for example, at airports where you have obstacles on the road already. Right. So we have constructed, and the street office, what you call it here in Lund, in the municipality, they have been given one of those special snowplows. And that's particular for the top-mounted version. But if we talk about the submerged version, which we are preparing and installing for this fall.
Well, that's the one that goes, it's completely into the road.
It's merged down into the road.
That's
then
next
it will
step.
be no difference between the asphalt and the road. So plowing will not be a problem there. And we will have...
But it also heats up, right?
It will have. We have heaters. And the temperature sensors will tell us when it's time to heat, because it requires less energy to be preventive rather than melting snow.
Right. I get it. Well, as you can see, we are on a public road where this is now...
And they have helped installing the power station today.
Cool.
So we are preparing for the opening next week. Did I say that we have an opening next week?
You mentioned it, but you can mention it again.
We have an opening next week.
Opening next week. We hope to see you all there.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karin.